I used to think it was a dream.
The smell of antiseptic. The corridor. The chair. Always the chair. Memories. Maybe. Or parts of me I wasn't supposed to keep. But lately, I'm starting to realize it wasn't a dream. It was a recovered file. A loop. A fragment. Something someone buried inside me years ago. And now it's bleeding through the cracks. I keep seeing a number, 949. I don't know what it means. It's not a code I recognize, but it follows me. It shows up on receipts, clocks, files I didn't open, and when I close my eyes, I see it stenciled on a concrete wall, just above a steel door. And behind that door, no, not yet. Let me start where the memories start to make sense. To Montauk. There's something about that word. Every time I hear it, I feel like I've just missed something. Like someone said my name in another room. Like I've forgotten something important. The second I remembered it. They say the base is shut down. They say Camp Hero was just a radar station. They say the weird stories are just urban legends. But they don't say it like they believe it. They say it like they're trying to forget. I used to live near there, not close enough to see it, just close enough to hear the hum every night, the same frequency, too low for the ear, but loud enough for the bones. It would shake the windows at 3:33 a.m., always the same time. I asked my parents about it once. They told me it was the wind. We didn't live near trees. I remember standing in the backyard one night, trying to find the source of the vibration, and that's when I saw it. A flash high above the tree line, way beyond where the base should have ended. A tower. It wasn't there during the day. Not on any map, not on any satellite image. But it was there, just for a moment, then gone. And when I went back inside, there was blood on my pillow. Not a lot, just enough to remind me that something had gotten in, that something had reached through the signal and touched me. After that, the dreams changed. They became clearer, sharper. I started hearing words. Project Montauk, Contingency 7, subject still active. I don't know if I was the subject or the contingency, but I know this. I wasn't supposed to remember, and now that I have,
I can't stop what's coming.
I started recording myself while I slept. Not to catch dreams, to catch the silence between them. The moments where something else breathes through me. It began as static. Low, broken, the kind of interference you'd hear on an old TV when a signal's trying to punch through the wrong channel. Not in English, but on the third night, it formed words. Not in any language I could place. They weren't spoken. They were layered, stacked whispers bleeding into each other, like echoes from opposite walls collapsing inward. I slowed it down, but filtered the frequency, looped it. Eventually I could make out a phrase. Subject 1049. Breach detected. That number again. I searched my medical records, my ID history, my school records. Nothing. Tiny, dense, perfectly round, a black spot behind the orbital bone. But when I pulled up an old CT scan from an accident I had as a kid, a bike crash that sent me to the ER, I saw something. The doctor had said it was a calcium anomaly. Said it happens in boys sometimes. I asked for the file again. The clinic didn't exist anymore. Burned down 5 years ago. No survivors. I stared at the scan for hours. That dot, it looked too deliberate, like something placed, like a marker, a beacon. I tried to ignore it. I went to work, smiled, pretended. But that night, when I came home, the power had been cut. No storm, no neighborhood outage, just my place. The breakers hadn't tripped. Everything was physically intact, just dead. except for one thing. Still running,
My recorder.
still warm in my hand, still blinking red.
I played it back.
Silence, then a hum, then footsteps, slow, barefoot.
Not mine.
Then breathing, then static, and a voice. You were never supposed to leave. I dropped it.
I didn't sleep.
The next morning, I drove to Montauk.
No plan, no bag, no backup.
Just a compulsion. The kind that doesn't feel like a choice, more like a reflex. Like scratching an itch inside the bone. The sky overcast. The highway was empty. The towers were visible before the coastline. That dish. The radar. It was still standing. Still clean. Still humming. I parked where the tourists stop. Where the signs say, Camp Hero State Park. Picnic tables. Trash bins. Painted trail signs. A joke. A shell. I knew what was under it. The brush parted too easily. I walked past the tree line. Into the thickets. Like it had been cleared recently. Like someone or something had prepared the path ahead of me. I passed 3 old bunkers. Sealed. The 4th wasn't. Steel doors. Scratched. Not from age. From fingers. The kind of marks made by someone trying to stay inside.
There was no lock.
Or someone desperate to keep others.
No code.
Just a handle. I touched it and heard the voice again. Not from the recorder. From inside my head. If you open the door, the loop continues. I didn't know what that meant. Darkness. But I opened it anyway. Thick, warm, familiar. Like stepping into the back of your own mind and realizing you're not the only one living there. The corridor sloped downward. Lights flickered. Not electricity. Memory. Images flashing where they shouldn't be. A child's drawing taped to the wall. A hallway of mirrors that showed someone else. A chair. Always the chair. And at the end of the hallway, a humming room. I took one step closer, and the door slammed shut behind me. Locked. No way back. Only forward. Always forward. Just like the dream. Only now I wasn't asleep. And I knew, somewhere below me, behind layers of lies, and time, and silence, something remembered me. There's no echo down here. You'd expect it, right? But every step I take feels swallowed before it can return. Concrete halls. Empty metal. Cavernous depth. Like the sound is being eaten by the walls. Not absorbed. Devoured. I follow the hum. Mechanical. Rhythmic. Alive. It pulses every few seconds. Like a heartbeat. The air is heavier now. Not in weight. In density. Like I'm breathing something that doesn't want to be air. I find a staircase. Narrow. Rusted. Descending. It creaks as I move. But not loud enough.
Nothing's loud enough down here.
Sublaw free. Cognitive induction.
At the bottom, a sign. The letters are stenciled. But there's something written underneath in pen. Shaky, smeared. Don't let them ask you the question. I freeze. I don't know what question. But now it's already in my head. And that's how it works. Not with threats. Not with weapons. With suggestion. They plant the idea. You water it yourself. And by the time you're doubting, it's already bloomed. I keep moving. The lights here are dimmer, greener. They flicker like they're stuck between frames of different realities. I pass empty rooms, or what I think are rooms. They change when I look again. One is a medical bay. Then it's a classroom. Then it's a padded cell. Then it's a hallway full of monitors, all showing my face. But I'm not moving in them. I'm watching. Heart and waiting. Hit blink. And in one of the screens, but not in real time. I blink before I do. A unif. I turn a corner, and everything stops. The pressure, the flicker. I'm in a wide chamber, maybe 20 meters across. Dark, except for a light in the center. A single spotlight, a chair beneath it. Same worn leather, same restraints. The same chair from the dream. Strapped, bolted, wired. Same feeling in my chest. Like I've just remembered something I was forced to forget.
There's something on the floor beneath it.
A name tag.
Face down.
I pick it up. Lester Hammond, Class 7 Observer, cleared for Loop 3. But the picture, I don't know the name. It's me, not recent. Rent, not now, but me. Younger, shorter hair. He's too calm, like he hasn't remembered yet. Like he still believes he's just an observer. Suddenly the hum comes back. Louder, but it's inside my skull now. Not my ears. Not the walls. It's vibrating behind my eyes. A rising tone, sharp and wet. Like pressure pushing against thought. And then, a voice, inside me. Not my own. Please return to the chair. I stagger back. My knees hit the floor. Please return to the chair. It repeats, but not identically. Each time it says it, the intonation shifts, like it's learning how to say it the way I would say it to myself.
I cover my ears.
It gets louder. Please return to the chair. I scream, but it doesn't stop. Punto, click. The chair powers down. The light cuts out. Total darkness. Total silence. Then the faintest click of a door. Unlocking behind me. And there it is. I turn. Another corridor.
Another descent.
Another memory I haven't had yet. Because this isn't a place. A program I never gave permission to install. It's a recording of my mind. Playing out a program. But one that's already running. And the deeper I go, the hallway past the chair isn't lit. The more it remembers. But there's no source. Not really. There's a faint blue shimmer along the floor, like moonlight reflecting off metal. There are panels, and no bulbs, no electricity humming. Like the corridor itself is remembering what light used to be. Just a glow.
The walls are cold.
Slick, smooth like glass, but with texture. Faint ridges, like veins under skin. Every few meters, there's a small black plate embedded into the wall. 1734 each, with a number. Not in sequence. Monday, 81. D'Androni 49. That one. Again. The plate is slightly ajar. I stop. I touch it, as if it's been removed. Replaced. Not quite reattached. Nothing happens, but in the silence, I hear something. A low breath, not mine. I lean in closer, and a voice crackles to life behind the wall. He doesn't know yet. Female. Young. Shaking. Another voice answers. Male. Calm. He's not supposed to. That's why he works. There's a short pause. Then, not like someone turned it off. The sound cuts. We shouldn't be listening. If this loop's active, again, we're all exposed. Like it was snatched. No seams. I try to open the panel, but it's fused. Just metal, pretending to be metal.
I move on.
The corridor bends slightly. Not like architecture, more like muscle. And the next chamber opens without warning. Large, circular, echoing. This one does echo. Rows of glass booths line the outer rim. A dome, perhaps 20 feet high. Inside each one, a figure, floating, motionless. Some are children, suspended in something viscous, almost amber. Some adults, and none of them are breathing. Some hard to define, but they're not dead. A soft thrum in the room, not mechanical, but biological.
I can feel it.
like a hive that's still dreaming. I approach the closest pod. The face is turned slightly away. Blonde hair, pale skin. But when I lean in, the figure twitches, just slightly. The eyes open, not startled, not afraid. It smiles, just tired, and then through me.
Not at me.
As if looking past my shape and into something it already knows. Suddenly, all the pods begin to stir. One by one, fingers flex, lips move, eyes flutter. No sound, no breathing, no heartbeat, but movement. Coordinated, rhythmic, deliberate. A sync, a chorus, and then, all at once, they stop, frozen mid-motion, as if something just cut the signal. The lights above flicker. Then the center of the room opens. Not a door, not a hatch. A section of the floor just folds downward, revealing stairs, but spiraling, not leading down, tight, dense, endless, as if descending into a place that doesn't fit inside the earth. I shouldn't go further. Every instinct in me says turn around, but I don't, because something wants me to leave. And I've started to learn whatever wants something.
Down here.
Is probably the thing lying. As I take the first step, I feel pressure in my skull again, but different this time. More like something's uploading. Memories I don't remember having. A boy in a silver suit, drawing circles on a wall. A dog that speaks without sound. I blink. A woman with no face, whispering numbers that taste like blood.
Standing in a white room.
And the stairwell is gone. No corners. In the center. A table. Just space and white.
No shadows.
On it. A tape recorder. Cassette already in. Labeled
Session 1. Subject.
Don't listen all at once. And beneath it in handwritten ink. I press play. Click. The tape begins with silence. But it's not empty. It's breathing. Like the pause between lightning and thunder. The kind of silence that only exists when something's listening first. Then, a voice. Female. Calm. Detached. Session 1. Subject 1049. Initial re-entry. Confirmed. Memory drift stabilized at 7.4%. She pauses.
I don't.
As if waiting for me to remember what that means. She continues. If you're hearing this, it means the loop is holding. It also means you've forgotten again. The recorder clicks softly, like a second track overlapping. Not like tape shifting. Then my own voice.
Younger, sharper.
Another pause. I don't want to forget anymore. I freeze. The woman speaks again. You say that every time. It's my voice. But I don't remember saying it. It's not a recording from a past session. It's a perfect echo of now. Like the system already knew what I was going to feel, what I was going to regret. Like my fear is part of the program. The tape continues. Another click. Resulting side effects. Memory artifact bleed. Audio hallucination. Non-linear perception of self. Subject 2049 was exposed to controlled breach level 2 for 46 consecutive loops. He shows signs of recursive imprinting. He repeats patterns designed to collapse. My voice again. A whisper, but I dream her face.
I don't remember her name.
Silence. Again. End of session. The tape stops, slides it out gently, but before I can remove it, the recorder ejects the cassette on its own, as if it's done this many times before.
I look around.
The room is still white, still flat, still cornerless, but something's shifted. I'm not alone anymore. On the far side of the room, opposite the table, there's a mirror. I didn't notice it before. It reflects the table, the recorder, the light, but not me. I walk toward it. Nothing. No shape, no shadow, no flicker, just the room. And then I turn around. In the mirror, a second tape appears on the table. It's not there, but in the reflection, it is. Same recorder, same tape, labeled Session 2, do not play.
I look back, still nothing.
I close my eyes. I reach out. I feel it, where it shouldn't be. Cold plastic. Real weight. Not in the world, but in the idea of the world. I slide it into the recorder. Press play. No introduction this time. Lower than before. Just a deep hum, like it's coming from inside the bones of the building. Then, a voice. Not mine. Not hers. Something else. Session 2. Something stitched together, like fragments of different people, trying to speak in unison. The subject has breached perimeter 0. The hum grows louder. The voice continues.
He is beginning to remember what we used to be.
Pause. We are not the same anymore. Another pause. They took your name and gave you numbers because your name was a key.
I freeze.
Then a single sentence, spoken alone. I don't know what it means, but it hits me somewhere that isn't physical. A part of me contracts, like a memory flinching. I look at my hand. There's a scar I don't remember having. 5 small punctures on the wrist, perfectly aligned. I trace them with my finger, and the room shudders. Not shakes, shudders, like reality itself coughed. Then the voice returns. They won't let you ascend until you collapse. Click. Keep going. The tape ends. The recorder ejects again. But this time, it doesn't stop. The entire table slides downward into the floor, as if swallowed. A seam opens behind where the mirror used to be. The doorway, a hallway of flickering lights, walls covered in handprints burned into concrete, and a smell I can't explain. And on the other side, old electronics, rotting wires, and something else, something like childhood, left too long in the dark. As I take the first step forward, the door behind me seals shut, and I hear it again. Not a voice, faint, looping, whispered from a speaker I can't see. A signal, tangible in integrity, holding continued descent. But I already knew. I have been here before. I just never made it this far. Until now. The hallway beyond the mirror is narrow, not claustrophobic, but purposeful, like it was built for people smaller than me, or younger. The handprints on the walls are all different sizes, some large, most small.
One set is tiny, impossibly so.
They're burned into the surface, not like fire, like energy, radiation, electromagnetic discharge. No, the deeper I go, the more they change. These marks weren't left behind. They were ripped out. Some reached too high, like the subject was trying to climb the wall. Some are smudged. Some are overlapping, like multiple children were dragged through the same corridor, again and again, until the loops blurred together.
I hear laughter.
I don't hear the hum anymore. Not loud.
Not joyful.
Flat. Repetitive. Mechanical. Like someone recorded a child laughing and didn't stop playing it. It echoes, but it doesn't move. It stays with me. No matter where I step, it's always at the same distance, just behind my ear.
I stop.
It stops. I breathe in. It breathes out. Then I hear it. Another voice. I remember you. Organic. Fragile. Different from the looped laugh. I spin around. No one. The hallway curves behind me like it always has. But the light above me flickers. For a moment, just a single second, I see a child's silhouette standing at the far end. Thin. Still. Staring. Then it's gone. But I hear footsteps. Not mine. Running down the corridor ahead. faster than a child should move. Too fast. Eventually the hallway opens. Another chamber, round. Stone walls. Low ceiling.
No lights, just a faint glow from above, like a skylight that shouldn't be there, because we're at least 10 levels underground now.
In the center of the room is a table. Not wood, not steel. Bone, or something that wants to be bone. Around it, chairs. 7 of them. Small. One is toppled. One has a red ribbon tied to the leg. Another has initials scratched into the seat. Leo J. I don't know why that makes my hand shake. Then I see the projector. Old. Analog. Sitting in the corner. Aimed at the wall. Not plugged in. It turns on. By itself.
No sound.
The reel spins. Just images on the wall. Grainy. Flickering footage. Children in grey uniforms. Walking in circles. One stops. Looks at the camera. Smiles. And mouths something. But the tape skips before I can read the lips. Another scene. Same children. But older now. Same walking. Same room. Eyes blank. They don't blink. They just follow the path. Over and over and over. Point in the cut. Now they're in chairs. Electrodes on their heads. Mouths open. No sound. The film melts. The projector stops. Smoke trails upward like breath from a dead animal. And the ribbon on the chair flutters, even though there's no wind. Behind the projector, a door opens. No handle, no warning. It just slides inward. A dark hallway. But this one's different. It smells like bleach and ammonia. Hospitals. Memory erasure. And at the end of it, I hear crying. Not loud. Not fake. Real. Deep crushed. Repeating. But not looping. It's real time. Still alive? Someone, a child, is still down here. Still waiting. Still looping.
I take a step forward.
And the lights above me burst. Every single one. Glass shatters. Sparks. Fall. I duck instinctively. But no heat touches me. Only silence. Total silence. Then a whisper. But not through sound. Through nervous system. Straight into my spine. They never left. You were supposed to bring them out. A phrase. Then I whisper back. Not knowing why. No answer. Who are you? Just a cold breath in my ear. Then the walls begin to shift. And the unmistakable sensation that someone is standing right behind me. Even though I'm alone. No, not the walls. My vision. The corridor ahead distorts. Flickers. Splits. Like 2 timelines trying to overwrite each other. In one, the hallway is clean, lit, functional. Both feel real. In the other, it's rotting. Exposed wires. Crumbling tiles. Both feel remembered. And I'm walking forward again. I blink. But I don't know which version I'm walking into. And that something or someone is waiting at the end. Only that the crying is louder now. The hallway bends again. Like intention, but not like architecture. As if the space is reacting to my presence, curling away from me. Resisting. Sharper. Wet. The crying is closer now. It's not a baby. Not a tantrum. Then silence. It's the kind of sob that comes when someone remembers something they were forced to forget. Not a fade. They cut. Like someone hit pause on a file that's still playing underneath. The corridor opens into a small room. Fluorescent lights overhead. Most of them flickering or dead. The smell of mold. Burnt rubber. And something else. Decay. But only behind the walls. Something rotting just out of reach. In the center of the room is a desk. Plastic. Government issue. Covered in papers. Some crumpled. Others scorched at the edges. None of them dated. I reach for the top page. It's a form. Clinical, cold, unlabeled boxes and checklists. At the top, a name. Subject 1063. Status. Incomplete recovery. A photo is stapled to the corner. A girl, 10, maybe 11. Dark eyes. Shaved head. Blank stare. The back of the page has notes. Messy handwriting. Rushed. Refuses loop re-entry. Draws door symbols repeatedly. Cannot be terminated. System resists intervention. Speaks in mirrored phrases. I feel my stomach turn. There's more underneath. Files on other subjects. Most redacted. Others barely legible. Some with fingerprints burned into the edges. And then I see it. My number. No photo. Just a single line. Subject retains anomalous memory. Stability. Post-cycle. Do not engage directly. Below that, handwritten in red ink.
The file ends there.
Suddenly, the lights flicker off. Total dark. Then, a whisper. Not words. Not a voice this time. Just emotion. Panic. Abandonment. Regret. Then, all pressed into me like a wet cloth over the face. A sound. Soft. Dragging. Like feet too weak to lift themselves. Approaching from the far side of the room. I hold still. Breath locked in my throat. Then I see it. A figure. Small. Thin. Filthy. A girl. Maybe not. Maybe the same one from the photo. Her eyes glow faintly. Not from light, but from inside. But instead of sound, images pour out. She opens her mouth. Like someone's playing footage through her body. Flashes of the facility. Children screaming. Walls melting. Loops restarting over and over. A man screaming. Pull her out. Pull her out. She's still inside the field. A room of mirrors exploding outward. A chair splitting open under pressure. And then, nothing. The girl stares at me. Her mouth still open. Still flickering. Then she points to the wall behind me. I turn and see a door. Not a physical one. A drawn door. Rough chalk lines. Smudged from age or panic. In the center, a symbol. A spiral. Made of teeth. No handle. No frame. Just the suggestion of escape. I look back at the girl. She's gone. Vanished. Without sound. I touch the chalk. It feels warm. It pulses. And then, the wall gives way. Like stepping through paper soaked in oil. I'm somewhere else. Not deeper. Not higher. Just parallel. The air is thinner here. Every breath feels borrowed. And the walls breathe back. I see writing scratched into the metal. We woke up too soon. We didn't know which me I was. There are no lights, just a glow from within the floor. Soft, blue, pulsing. Then I hear something I've never heard before. My own voice. Saying something I've never said, but fractured, echoing through multiple mouths. The only way out is repetition. Repetition forms the cage, but it also forms the key. The sound folds in on itself, and for the first time since I arrived, I feel afraid of myself, because now I don't know if I'm the version that survived. I don't remember falling asleep, or the one that stayed behind to keep the loop alive. But I wake up standing.
My forehead too.
My hands are against a wall, as if I'd been listening to the concrete. The glow from the floor is gone, replaced by a dull red pulsing from the ceiling, like a warning light that forgot what it was warning about. And there's something new.
Not mine.
Breath behind me, slow, wet, calm, cursing. There's someone standing in the hallway. Same height, same frame, Same face. He doesn't blink. He doesn't step forward. He just watches me. He mirrors it. I raise a hand. Perfectly. But there's something off. His eyes. They're wrong. Empty. Like no one's driving. Just a shell. A reflection that doesn't reflect me. But the version of me that stayed too long. Who are you?
I speak.
The one that didn't leave. He answers with my voice. My pulse spikes. You left me here, he continues. Every time you reset, every time you climbed out of the chair, you left a version behind to hold the signal. I shake my head. He takes a step closer. That's not possible. Possible stopped meaning anything the first time we loop. The red light above us blinks faster now. Faster. Then, a screech from somewhere deep in the structure, like metal tearing, or something waking up. I double tilts his head, listens, smiles. Who? They're coming. The ones who built this part of the memory.
I back away.
He doesn't follow. Instead, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small. A fragment. Sharp, metallic, humming. He tosses it toward me.
I catch it by reflex.
It's warm, burning even, ditched into the side. P149B sword ride key, one use. I look up. He's gone. Not stepped away. Just deleted. Like he was never standing there. Like the system realized he'd said too much. I pocket the shard, and suddenly the hallway expands. Not physically, perceptually, as if I was seeing only a fraction of it before. A looped corridor designed to trap me in repetition. Now it stretches forward, revealing a new chamber at the end. I walk toward it. The metal underfoot changes texture, rougher, uneven. I glance down. I'm walking on plates, metal nameplates, thousands of them bolted into the floor, each with a number, some with names. Subjected 0331, lost in field. Subject 0920, terminated. During phase inversion, subject 01 veil, recreated, not stable. Subject. That last one is scratched out, as if someone tried to erase it, but couldn't. The chamber opens. This one is different. No light, no control panels, no machines, just a single mirror in the center of the room, floor to ceiling, and behind the mirror.
I see movement.
I step closer, something twitching, fast, repeating. It's a room like mine. Same walls, same layout, but the figure inside the mirror is trapped in a loop, touching the wall, reaching for a door that resets every few seconds. Turning, it's me, again, but stuck. Over and over, and over, and each time he repeats the loop, his reflection looks more decayed, more hollow, more wrong, until finally he turns and stares at me through the mirror, and in perfect sync, he mouths, "Which one are you?" The mirror cracks, hairline fractures, spreading like veins. Then, for the first time since I entered this level, I hear a child scream. Not distant, not recorded, real, alive. And suddenly, here, I remember something I shouldn't. Not a name, not a face, just a promise. One I made before I was erased. If I ever wake up, I'll bring you with me. But I don't know who I said it to. Yet, the cracks in the mirror spread like frostbite. A single line of light cuts through the rim, sharp and silent, until the entire surface collapses inward.
Not with a crash?
Not with sound. Just absence. Like the mirror wasn't broken, just removed. On the other side, a corridor, and on the floor, waiting, like it's been expecting me, a reel-to-reel tape. Session 0. Do not recover. labeled by hand, but I do. It feels heavier than it should. I pick it up, not in mass, in memory, like it's holding the weight of something I've already survived once, and was never meant to survive again. The walls pulse, with signal, not with light. A hymn returns, but different now, deeper, more organic, like a frequency meant to resonate with burn, not air. I follow it, down another hall, through another steel hatch,
Until I do.
and into a room I don't recognize.
The layout is the same.
Chair in the center, panels around it, coils above, like metal roots suspended from the ceiling. I've seen it in dreams, in fragments, in loop memories that never aligned, where they put me the first time. This is where it started. The room smells like ozone, and blood, and melted plastic. Something with a nervous system. Something was burned here.
There's a terminal against the wall, dusty, ancient.
A slot for tapes.
I insert the reel.
It clicks in. The machine wakes. Not with fanfare, with a shiver. The tape rolls, and my voice begins, but not the one I know. A child's voice.
My name.
Static. Then another voice. A woman. The one from session 1.
Begin induction.
Does he know? He doesn't need to. Another static burst. Door symbols implanted. Loop conditions. Verified. Disassociation onset successful. Then a pause. Longer. Hollow. Male. Rough. Not kind. And a third voice. He's looking at me. He knows I'm lying. A click. Silence. Then a fourth voice. This one is mine. Not from now. Not from before. From somewhere in between. But don't trust this recording. If you're listening, that means I made it back. It's already been edited. I stagger back. The machine ejects the tape violently. Sparks spit from the slot. The screen turns black, and a phrase appears. You asked to forget. Then it powers off. 8. Not like it shut down. Like it was unplugged from time. I look down at my hands. They're shaking. My wrists, the puncture scars, are glowing faintly now. Not bleeding. Just active. Like something is syncing with me again. And then I see it. A shadow behind the glass wall, to my left. Moving. Not walking. Pacing. Fast. Agitated. Repeating a pattern. It's another chamber. I approach the window. Almost identical, but with someone trapped inside. Another version of me. No, it's a child, wearing a hospital gown, head shaved, eyes wide, hands pressed to the glass, mouthing something, over and over.
I can't hear it.
But I know the pattern. It's not a word, it's a number. Teaspoon. There are already 9. He stares at me like I've left him there before.
Like this time, I have to take him with me.
Suddenly, alarms begin to pulse. Soft, muffled, like they're not for me to hear. Like I've entered a part of the program reserved for staff. A door behind me slides open. Light spills in, and on the floor, footsteps, not mine, fresh, heading toward me. Then another voice, through the speaker overhead. Do not engage. With echo 0. Subject 149 is nearing breach threshold. Prepare fallback protocol. I look back to the glass. The boy is gone, replaced by a phrase written in fog on the window. Remember the well. The resonance well. The term floods back into my mind, like a dam just cracked open. Not a place, a device, a chamber that bends memory and matter until they overlap, until time is a circle and identity is a trap. I saw it. I was in it. And it's still running, somewhere below, feeding off echoes of subjects that never made it back. I take one step toward the hallway, and in the distance, I hear the well humming, calling, welcoming,
waiting for me to remember what I really did.
The stairs aren't metal. They look like it. Cold grey, riveted into stone. But when I step, they give slightly, not like steel, like cartilage. Each footfall triggers a pulse in the handrail, a ripple of heat, like the system is verifying me with every move, or absorbing something, not in volume. The hum grows louder, in density. It's not sound anymore. It's a pressure behind the eyes, a gravity pulling thoughts into shapes they weren't meant to form. Then the lights dim. Not fail, not flicker, just dim, to remind me where I'm going. Intentionally, the stairwell spirals for what feels like hours. No doors, no brakes, no change. Then the hum changes pitch. Only descent, rises, but not speaking to me. For a moment, I think I hear voices inside it, remembering me, like the machine is trying to reconstruct my shape based on emotion. And then, a door, old, heavy, with a mechanical wheel at its center, submarine style, engraved across the top.
Resonance access.
Level. I reach for the wheel. The metal burns my palm, but I turn it. Not because I'm brave, because something inside me knows I've already done this. I just have to do it again. The door opens into black.
No light.
No sound. Just wait. And then, a circle, a blue flicker in the floor, pulsing. I step onto it. A platform. No. A sensor. The room awakens. Soft light spiral outward, along the floor, revealing a chasm, deep and alive. At the center, the well. It's not a machine. It's a wound. Circular, breathing, glowing faintly, with a blue light that seems to hate being seen. Pipes run into it from all directions. Some drip, others, and around it, evenly spaced, like a ritual. 7 chairs, all occupied. Bodies,
Still hooked into the well.
but not dead. Eyes open, mouths moving silently. They're stuck.
Trapped mid-thought.
Mid-word, mid-loop. One of them twitches, then another, then a third lifts his head, just slightly, and looks at me. His mouth forms a single word. Stay. I almost do, because something in my body remembers obedience, remembers sessions, commands, the punishment for deviation. But I clench the override key in my pocket. It buzzes. Alive. Whether I look back to the well, it pulses again. Faster. The light from its center begins to strobe, projecting symbols into the walls. Not language. Sequences. DNA. Waveforms. Fragments of memory stitched to numbers. And then a voice. Wow. Not male. Not female. Something deeper. Subject 1049. Confirming presence. I don't respond, but it doesn't wait. Loop integrity damaged.
Memory reconstruction incomplete.
Then another message appears, not spoken, projected directly into my mind. Begin assimilation protocol. It's no. I feel it pressing into my skull, demanding a binary choice. But I say nothing. I close my eyes.
And for the first time, I try to remember who I was before Montauk.
The image comes slowly. A house, blue siding, a voice humming in the next room, rain on the window.
I'm 5.
I'm safe.
And then, the door opens. Not a knock, a command. 2 men, black suits, no names, a clipboard, a van. I don't cry, like they've always known me, because they say my name, like they know me. And in the back of the van, one of them says, but I do.
You won't remember this part.
Now, I open my eyes. The well has changed. The surface now reflects not symbols, but faces. Mine. The boy version. The version I saw in the mirror. The one who screamed in the hallway. The one who forgot. The one who obeyed. All staring at me. And behind them, others, dozens. Subjects who stayed. Subjects like me. Subjects still powering the loop. And then, one last voice. Clear. Soft.
We only wake up if you jump.
Direct. I take one step forward. The well pulses, not with light, with recognition. But the question is, it knows I'm ready. What happens when I leave? The edge of the well pulses with light, not a warning, an invitation. The kind that looks like a test, but feels like instinct.
I step closer.
The hum grows quieter, not weaker, more focused, like it's listening for something only I can say. My thoughts aren't mine anymore. They arrive from elsewhere, wrapped in memories I never lived. A girl laughing on a swing, a fire alarm that never stopped ringing, a pair of hands pressed to glass, whispering, "Don't forget me," before vanishing into static. The light shifts. Now the surface of the well reflects something else, but not the way I look now. Me, the way I looked the day they brought me here. 7 years old, blank stare, shaved head, white jumpsuit, and behind me, a figure, tall, wearing the black coat of a technician, but no face, just a smooth void. The moment I blink, it's gone. I reach into my pocket. The override key buzzes harder. It's reacting to the presence of the well, or maybe the well is reacting to it. I grip the shard tight, step forward, and that's when the lights go out. Not just in the chamber, in Nebe. My knees buckle. I fall, not onto metal, not onto floor, onto memory. Because this time, the well doesn't pull me in. It opens a door. I'm inside another version of myself. Not in control, just observing. I see my hands younger, trembling, hooked up to the headset, the chair, the injection port at the base of my skull. I'm in session 12, the one I was never supposed to remember. A voice speaks, calm, female. Recorded, subject 1049. Response to spatial echo exposure continues to exceed protocol. Record loop, initiating double feed. Then silence. Eyes flicking back and forth. The boy me breathes harder. Then he says something under his breath. It echoes into the memory, stronger than it should. There's more of me in here than they can control. And then the glass wall fractures. The screaming, alarms, someone shouting,
Pull in, pull in.
He's fracturing the containment, but they can't, because in that moment, he, the boy version of me, is doing something new. He's creating a fork, a memory that will loop itself, a version of me that stays, even after I leave, and another that leaves, thinking he escaped.
I jolt back.
I'm at the edge of the well again, sweating, heart pounding. But something's different. The bodies in the chairs are gone. The seats are empty, still warm. One of them has a ribbon tied around the armrest. Another has a nameplate, Terran 63, Ella J. That girl, the one who used to draw doors, or she's out. She moved, and I see him. I turn to leave. The other 149, the one from the mirror, standing between me and the exit, no longer blank-eyed, now angry. His voice is quiet, too quiet.
You made it this far.
That's the test. That was always the test. I don't speak, he continues, but you don't get to decide who leaves. I raise the shard. He smiles. Of course you brought it. Then you know what happens next. They always bring the key. He tilts his head. Do you? And suddenly, the well glows brighter than ever. A shape rises from its center, a spiraling tendril of light and memory. Inside it, flickering, Every version of me, every loop, every echo, every restart, every scream, and one by one, they begin to turn toward me, toward us, and I realize only one of us is leaving, and the well is going to decide which. The well pulses like a heartbeat, but it isn't mine, not anymore. It belongs to something older than memory, older than time. The double steps forward. His face is mine, but wrong in ways I can't describe, like someone made it from a memory that was missing key details. His smile is stretched just a bit too wide. His eyes are mirrors, but they don't reflect me. He speaks.
You think they let you get this far because you're special?
They let you get this far because they need one of us to close the door. So what are you then? A fail-safe. I tighten my grip on the override shard. He nods. The one they can trust. And the version that doesn't ask questions. The obedient echo. Then he tilts his head, curious. So, why did you come back? My mouth is dry, but I answer honestly, because someone asked me to. His expression falters, a flicker, uncertainty. He didn't expect that. The well swells behind us. In its light, images swirl, memories from both of us, clashing and merging. 2 timelines, 2 interpretations, 2 fates. I see myself climbing trees.
I see myself strapped to the chair.
I see a woman, brown eyes, tired smile, holding my hand and whispering, "When the world gets loud, remember the swing." I whisper it aloud. The double winces. That memory isn't real. He doesn't answer.
Then why does it hurt you?
Instead, he reaches into his coat, almost identical. He pulls out his own shard, but darker, not English, etched in a different language, not human. He points it toward the well, and the entire chamber trembles. We don't have to fight. We merge, make one perfect version, clean, loyal, stable. You mean erase the one who remembers? He smiles again. Exactly. Then he lunges, but he doesn't move like a person. He moves like a glitch, skipping, frame by frame, accelerating, warping. I duck. His shard slices, air where my head was a second before. The floor sparks, and the well pulses brighter, reacting to the conflict. The platform fractures. Slivers of light erupt upward like roots torn from soil.
So I roll across the floor and point my shard at him.
Peace. Not to stab, to project, and the well listens. From the shard in my hand, it pulls my version of the truth. The chair, the glass, the first time I screamed, and no one came. The echo of a girl singing in the darkness. The drawing of the door, the promise, if I wake up, I'll bring you with me. The well shudders, like it's unsure now, like it's trying to choose. My double snarls, his body fractures, not blood, not bone, but data. Chunks of him begin flickering, one moment skim, the next static. He points his shard at me. Too unstable. You feel too much. That's what makes me real. He launches again. This time I don't dodge. I press my shard into his chest. It connects, and both shards ignite. A burst of white light, not burning. Remembering, a flood of voices. Session 0 initiated. Subject has re-entered the loop. Door symbols repeating. Echo confirmed. Echo confirmed. Then, silence. He collapses, not like a body, like a thought dissolving. No scream, no plea, just the soft static of something deleted. The well is calm now, still glowing, still humming, but not as a threat. And suddenly, I understand. As a gateway, this was never about escape. This was about witness. They needed someone to survive the loops, the erasures, the confrontations, and still carry a stable identity through it all. Not to flee. I look to the empty chairs, to seal it. The names, the lives, and I realize I'm not supposed to leave for me. I'm supposed to open the door from the outside. For them, all of them. I wake up to silence. Not the sterile silence of Montauk. Organic silence. Birds. Wind. The soft hiss of rain against the window pane. But it's wrong. It's too quiet for memory. Like a memory of the outside world. Simulated just well enough to fool the part of me that wants it to be real.
I'm in a bed.
Cotton sheets. Worn pillow. No restraints. I sit up slowly. There's a window to the old side. A field. Fog. Mountains. In the distance. And a swing swaying slightly. Even though there's no wind. That's when I hear it. The humming. Low. Not mechanical. Not threatening. But familiar. It's coming from the hallway. I rise. My legs feel too steady. As if this body hasn't been used in a long time. Or like it's not exactly mine. I step into the corridor. The walls are wooden. Faded photographs line the walls. Children smiling. But when I lean closer, I see it. Their eyes are all blurred, scratched, burned out, erased. I find a door. Observation room 2. Subject integration complete. There's a plaque.
My stomach drops.
This isn't outside. It's still part of the system. Just another layer of the simulation. I open the door. Inside, a desk, an old monitor, and a reel-to-reel machine. The monitor flickers to life without me touching it. A message appears. Welcome back. I sit, and a voice I haven't heard in a long time speaks. The tape plays. If you're watching this, then you survived the fork, which means the system deems your identity viable. It's me, but older, calmer, like a version of me that saw the end and lived long enough to narrate it. You'll want to believe you're free now.
That the well is behind you.
But I need you to understand something. Montauk never existed in one place. These screen flashes, satellite images, labs, each labeled facilities.
Node 1 and Node 2 and Node 3.
It was never a single project. It was a pattern, a network of repetitions, embedded in reality, memory fractals, looping facilities, built to test every kind of echo. The tape crackles. They called you the reliable anomaly, the only one who resisted the recursive fade. So they tried something new. The swing outside appears on the screen. They made you think you left. I stand. Rip the tape from the reel. Toss it to the floor. But the monitor keeps playing. This world isn't a prison. It's a filter. You pass through every layer, but not to escape. To become the next anchor. The word sticks in my throat. Anchor. Suddenly I understand. The system needs someone to believe they're real in order to stabilize the rest. And I'm it. I rush to the window. The field is gone, painted to look like grass, replaced with a blank wall. The swing is still there, now frozen, and then I feel it, the hum, returning in my bones.
The well never stopped.
There's a mirror in the corner of the room. It's just inside me now, small. I walk toward it, dulled. My reflection stares back, but something flickers in the edges. Not movement, not distortion, other faces, overlapping mine. All versions of me, some older, some younger, all looped. A whisper curls into my ear like a smoke tendril. How many times have you woken up here? 1049. And with that, the light cuts out, except for one, a panel in the floor, glowing faintly. Not blue now, red. marking a path.
One I know, I'll follow.
Because that's what I've always done. Because this isn't the first time I've reached this part. And deep down, even as I turn to face it, I know it won't be the last. The red light pulses beneath the panel, soft, patient, like a heartbeat. In the floor, I kneel, run my fingers along the edges. There's no latch, no handle, just warmth. I press down. It opens without a sound. A hatch.
No ladder.
Just a shaft descending into nothing. I hesitate, not because I'm afraid, because I remember this feeling. The calm before descent, the illusion of choice. The reflection is gone. I take one last look at the mirror. Just a dark, polished surface. You step into the opening, falling. No sensation of gravity. No wind. Just passing through layers. Faster than sound.
Symbols flash past me in the dark.
Slower than thought. Red, yellow, white. Then, geometric patterns that press against the inside of my skull, like they're trying to reorganize my memories mid-fall. Impact, but not pain. Just pressure. I'm standing again. In the hallway, dimly lit. Metallic walls, concrete floor. No doors, except one. At the end, stenciled on it, Archive Node 7. The keypad blinks beside it. 4 digits. I don't hesitate. I type. The door unlocks. Inside is a circular room. Ceiling high above. Walls covered in screens. All off. But at the center, a single terminal. Old, green phosphor text. As I approach, the screen wakes. Welcome subject. Steadies. Allocated.
Error. Core splinter detect.
Enter command. I pause, then type. To do show am I. The system responds. Subject 1049. Echo anchor. Memory vessel. Bridge node. You are not the original. You are the last stable remnant. You are the final broadcast. The phrase freezes me. Final broadcast. I whisper it aloud.
Not a mission.
A designation. Never meant to return. I was never meant to escape. I was meant to carry it. The signal. The memory. The warning. I type again. What was Montauk Project? The screen flickers. A wall panel opens. Inside, reels. Tapes. Files. Dozens of them. Each labeled by number. I reach for the first one. Project Initiation. Slide it into the side reader. The monitor plays a grainy video. Static. Then a man in uniform, face blurred. He speaks. If this is being reviewed, containment has failed. Subject 1049 has reached echo apex. The resonance well is now self-sustaining. Subject is no longer being stored. He is now transmitting. More footage follows. Then static again. Children in hospital gowns drawing spirals.
A woman screaming in reverse. Audio.
The technician pulled into a wall of light. Notes scribbled in the margins. Subject doesn't dream. He retrieves.
I eject the tape.
Insert another. Phase inversion. We learned they could overwrite one another when subjects became self-aware. Loops fractured.
That's when the doubles began.
Not clones. Mimetic shadows. Echoes that believed they were the original. I skip forward.
Phase 6 collapse forecast.
The well is reaching out, drawing timelines inward. If it learns to self-repair through the echo host, the recursion could become contagious. I eject the tape. Look at my hands. They're glowing faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the red light still seeping from beneath the floor. And then I see it. A file clipped with a red tag, labeled
Right integration protocol. Only if subject remembers the swing.
My throat closes. The swing, the one I saw swaying in the field. the memory I thought was mine. I open the file. Inside, one image, one line of text. The image, a child on the swing, looking at the camera. It's me, but not me. The eyes are different, not confused, just blank.
Not afraid.
The caption, subject 1049, baseline shell. My stomach turns. I was never the original, but I am the one who remembers. And in this system, that's what makes me real. The lights in the archive dim. The screen displays one final message. Core stabilization in progress. Awake the remaining nodes. All remnants located. And behind me, one by one, the screens on the wall begin to light up. Each one showing a different face. Some asleep, some screaming, some watching me back, and more, to still hear, dormant, waiting, and suddenly, I know what I have to do. This isn't escape, this is rescue, and I'm the last voice they left behind. The final broadcast. The archive walls glow dimly, faces shimmer across the old screens. Not just one or two, dozens. Some peaceful, others frozen in mid-scream. Some staring back at me with eyes that know. At the center console, a new line appears. Available nodes for retrieval. Caution, stability unmade. I reach for the first file. Guillotine tonnage 63. Low J. Status, semi-dormant. Location, personal loop. Drawing room. I remember her. The girl who drew doors, who hummed lullabies in broken tones. I press enter. The screen flickers, then opens into a window, like a camera feed. A room appears. Small, white, crayons scattered on the floor. Kneeling. She's there, facing a wall, drawing a door with red chalk. Her hair longer now, older. She's whispering to herself. When I finish the door, it opens.
When I finish the door, it opens.
Well, Jay, do you hear me?
I tap the console.
She stops, turns slowly, her eyes wide. Then she smiles. You made it. I nod. D2. But you need to wake up now. She blinks. I already did.
No! This is still a pocket.
Just a room. You're still part of the loop. She holds up the drawing. Not this time. Suddenly, the chalk door begins to glow, pulsing with that same blue light from the well. Her version of a portal. Not sanctioned, not controlled. Hers. This door is mine, she says softly. If I walk through yours, I forget. But through mine, I stay me.
I hesitate.
Then, you won't come back. She places her hand on the chalk. It passes through, and with that, we all have to find our own exit. She steps through. The drawing vanishes. So does the feed. The console marks her as retrieved alternate path. A tone pings gently.
Another line blinks.
Node 105D. Status, UN stable. Location, Y fraction chamber. I select it. The screen jitters. Feed comes through. Barely. Sparks of static. A room flooded with mirrors. A man shirtless, trembling, stands in the center. Old, young, bald, scarred. Dozens of reflections twist around him, all showing different versions of himself. Each one speaking, but not in sync. A chorus of him, each demanding to be the real one. He's holding his ears, sobbing. Make them shut up. I speak softly into the mic. JV, listen to me. You're not alone. I made it out. You can too. He doesn't look up. They all say that. Every time. Every version. I tap a new function. Isolate. Primary frequency. A feed locks on a single voice. The one that repeats a phrase clearly. Blue door. Red sky. Swing.
I speak it aloud.
That's mine. He flinches. One mirror glows faintly. Then walk to the mirror that says it. He turns slowly. He reaches for it. His hand passes through, and the others begin to scream. They distort, split, collapse. One by one, the false echoes vanish. Who steps through? The console pings. Retrieve memory locked. I sit back, breathing hard. Each retrieval takes more than effort. It takes pieces of me. My shard glows hotter in my pocket now, pulsing faster. A warning, or maybe a countdown. The console pings again. Node 1054. E-Hall. Status. Active. Location. Maintenance tier 3. Caution. Subject does not recognize loop as unreal. This one chills me. Some echoes like the simulation. They've built lives inside it. They've adapted, and waking them up is violence. I tap enter. The feed shows a man in a technician's uniform, clipboard in hand, calm, happy, even, walking down the corridors of a clean, well-lit facility. He waves at cameras, smiles at doors, but there's no one else there. He's alone, living a routine that exists only in the loop. I try to speak. The hall. You're not supposed to be here. He glances toward the ceiling, like hearing static. System error. Must be another prank from control. This isn't control. You're a node memory containment.
He laughs.
Subject 149. You're still running around, huh? They said you might stir up trouble. You remember me. He shrugs. I remember everything they programmed me to, and that includes handling situations like you. Then he turns to face the screen directly. His eyes flicker. Not human anymore. Glowing slightly. Too stable. He was overwritten.
Not a subject.
A guardian. The feed cuts. The console flashes red.
You freeze.
Subject non-retrievable. Countermeasure deployed. A new message appears. One I didn't expect. While learning, one or more nodes have initiated return protocols. One of them woke up. Not because of me. Because they were waiting. And now, they're coming back. The console is flashing. Red. Constant. Urgent. Ward warning node 1072. Reactivation in progress. Status containment of failure. Return to protocol triggered without authorization. I don't recognize the name.
No face, no log, no history.
I scan the file.
Just one word stabbed across the data in dark red. Obscured. The kind of classification that means even the people running the experiment didn't want to know what it was. A second warning pings. Node 1072 attempting to access mainframe signal core. No one. That's here, where I'm standing.
I look up at the screens.
One goes black, then another, and another. The archive is shutting down from the outside. Faces disappear.
I try to access a control override.
The console fights me. Too late. Error after error. Then a message appears. You opened the door. 2049. Now it remembers. The lights in the archive begin to pulse.
Not red.
Not blue, but something in between. Violet, flickering, sick. A hybrid frequency.
I know that color.
I've seen it in dreams. I wasn't supposed to remember. The inversion. When an echo tries to leave the loop with too much of the well. Still inside it. They back away from the console. A hum rises from below. Not the well. Something beneath it. The floor beneath the archive isn't metal anymore. It's soft, throbbing, like muscle pretending to be concrete. Then it speaks, inside me, not aloud. You made yourself real. You made it this far, so I could ride your path back. Now make me whole. I collapse to my knees. The shard. in my pocket glows white hot. I pull it out. It's cracking. It was never meant to carry this much data, this much identity. Overloaded. The archive door behind me opens. By force, but not by command. From the other side, footsteps, not human,
Not steady.
dragging, echoing. A shape stands in the entry, too tall, too thin, flickering like bad footage. It's not a man, it's a failed echo, a version that fragmented so badly it never found a body again. Only patterns, and now it's wearing a shell, a poor copy of a person, and it remembers me because we shared the well once. I speak, voice trembling, 10072. Its head jerks. The sound that comes out isn't words. It's a chorus of broken sessions, screams in reverse, half phrases, commands layered over lullabies. I try to stand. Can't. The weight of it presses down like gravity turned inside out. And then, from the console, purge protocol available. Insert shard for authentication.
I crawl toward it.
The creature twitches. It knows. It lurches forward. Its limbs lag behind its movements, like frames dropped from a video file. I slam the shard into the reader. The machine screams. The archive shakes. Purge confirmed. Core host. Initiated. Submerge or stabilize. The creature reaches me, touching my face. Its hand passes through me, and for 1 second, I see every identity fractured, every echo it's consumed, every failed retrieval, children, scientists, doubles, ghosts, and at the center of it all, a child on a swing, alone, watching the rain fall backwards. I scream. The light erupts. Silence. The room is gone. So is the creature. So is the console. I'm in a white space now. Blank. Weightless. And a voice, not my own, but somehow familiar, whispers, "You passed the purge, but the purge passed through you too." I look at my hands, cracked with light, not bleeding, leaking. Something inside me is still not mine. And now the system knows it too. Final message appears in the void. You are Node 0. You are no longer subject. It's not white anymore. This space, it's too still to be empty, too quiet to be safe.
I'm floating.
Or falling, or both. Time here doesn't behave. My thoughts fracture at the edges, like film melting in the projector. My name. What was my name? I try to say it. It glitches. Swing. Rain. Chalk door. A memory replaces it. And then the message returns. You are Node 0. Stability. Pending. Signal. Active. I reach out, and my hand leaves a trail of light behind it. Not real light. Data. Streaming from me, like I've become a fiber optic cable stretched between realities. Every movement broadcasts something. A feeling. A fragment. A frequency. And that's when I realize I'm not remembering anymore. I'm transmitting. Images begin to bleed into the void. Not from outside. From me. The archive. The chair. The girl with the red chalk. The boy with too many reflections. The creature with no center. They replay like dreams made of static. I try to stop them. I can't. The system is using me now. I've become the central relay. Every suppressed echo. Every lost memory. Every node too corrupted to retrieve. They're flooding back. Through me, a new message appears in the void. To stabilize, choose a core truth. I hesitate. The void pulses impatiently. I understand. If I don't anchor myself to a truth, I'll dissolve. Become part of the loop infrastructure. No longer conscious, just code. 3 choices form in front of me. Memories. Not words, A swing in the rain. A girl humming at night. The moment I woke up and remembered I had been here before. Which one is mine? Which one is real? The swing feels true, but maybe that's because I've told myself the story too many times. The girl allowed J. Her drawing changed the rules. She found her own door. But that moment of realization, when I looked in the mirror and saw a dozen versions of me blur and vanish, that was mine. That was the first moment I stopped being a subject.
I choose it.
The memory embeds. It roots. The light stops leaking from my hands. The trail becomes solid. I feel weight again.
Identity.
The void accepts it. Truth accepted. You woke up. Node 0. Stabilized. And then a door appears. Rusty. Mechanical. Marked with one word. Transfer. I walk through. A hiss of air. A sensation like passing through a radio wave. And suddenly, I'm standing.
Not in a void.
In a hallway. Metal walls. Flickering lights. Soundless hum, but not Montauk. Worse, because it looks like the real world. A hospital corridor. White tiles. A nurse's cart. Half full. Coffee cup on the edge. A clock frozen. At 3:33 a.m. A voice over a speaker crackles to life. Welcome home. 100. I freeze. No, I'm not him anymore. The hallway ends in a glass door. We know. That's why we brought you here. Behind it, another console. A chair, and a man sitting in it. He looks like me. Younger. Eyes wide. Trembling. He looks up as I approach. Who are you? I don't answer, because I already know what this is. This is the start of the loop. He's about to become me, unless I break the chain. He pleads, please, tell me what happens. And for the first time since this began, I say something I've never said before. You don't have to go in. The door behind him opens. Lights flicker. A technician appears. Faceless. Featureless. The same silhouette I saw when they dragged me in. But the boy stands still, waiting for permission. From me, I step forward, raise my hand, palm glowing. I touch his forehead. A spark. A flash. A transference. His eyes widen. He gasps. Then he runs. Down the hall.
Away from the door.
Away from the loop.
I stand alone.
In his place, where I once began.
Node 0 confirmed.
And the system speaks again. Subject escaped. And I understand.
Memory inherited.
I didn't save myself. Because someone has to remember. I became the version who stays behind. Someone has to transmit. The final broadcast isn't an escape. It's a signal, a warning for the next one. A map. The silence returns. But it's different now. Heavy. As if the system is holding its breath. Waiting to see if the damage is permanent. I sit in the chair. The console hums. Not like before. No welcoming text. No designation. Just a blinking cursor. Like it's asking me, what have you done? I don't type. I just listen. Far off. A sound. A siren. Distorted. Glitched. The same tone I heard during the original extraction phase. The day I first stepped into the well. But there's no emergency here. But the emergency is out there. The screen to my left. Activates. Security feed. A corridor. Sterile. White. Flickering. And then the boy.
149.
The one I saved. He's running. Past doors. Past warnings. But the footage. Skips. Flickers. Rewinds. Forwards. Loops. But he keeps moving. The system can't contain him. It's trying, desperately, to overwrite his presence. To reassign his existence to a node. But he has no designation now. I scrub through the feed. who passes a mirror, and for just a frame, I see it. His reflection doesn't match. He looks back at himself and sees me, my face, staring, screaming, flickering, gone. The system chimes again. A new message.
Asymmetry event detected.
Node count offline.
Equilibrium broken. A diagram fills the screen. A perfect circle. Each point, a node. Except now, one is missing, and one me glows too bright. The system didn't plan for this. A subject rejecting the pattern. The subject escaping without looping. Caution. Cascade initiation. Imminent. Cascade. The final failsafe. If the network can't maintain structural repetition, it doesn't collapse. It resets. Every subject, every memory, every loop purged. And I just pulled the first block out of the tower. I tried to reverse it, access the node interface,